Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared on June 3rd that Israel will not agree to a permanent ceasefire until it achieves its war objectives. Netanyahu stressed that a second phase of the ceasefire could begin only after agreeing on the terms of the complete ceasefire. This condition allows Israel to resume fighting in the Gaza Strip if negotiations fail. Meanwhile, two right-wing coalition members threatened to dissolve the Israeli government if Netanyahu agrees to end the war. The proposal from U.S. President Biden includes a 6-week ceasefire with partial Israeli military withdrawal and the release of some hostages. On June 3rd, Hamas official Suheil al Hindi stated that Hamas is still discussing the ceasefire proposal presented by Biden. Hamas indicated to international mediators that the Israeli proposal's sustainable calm period is ambiguous and unlikely to secure a permanent ceasefire, meeting Hamas's maximalist demands. Despite expressing willingness to engage positively and constructively with the ceasefire proposal, Hamas's confidence in its survival has increased. This confidence stems from its perception of surviving Israeli military operations and its ability to achieve its objectives without major concessions. Hamas has not officially responded to the Israeli proposal at this time. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant stated on June 2nd that Israel is considering an alternative governing authority for Gaza. Gallant emphasized that Israel would isolate Gaza, remove Hamas operatives, and involve other forces to create a new governance structure. This move aims to exclude Hamas, which is expected to violently resist and undermine any alternative authorities. An Israeli intelligence source revealed that Hamas recently disrupted an Israeli plan to replace it by killing the head of a local clan in Gaza. This internal power struggle highlights the challenges Israel faces in reshaping Gaza's political landscape. Hardliners dominate the candidate pool for the upcoming Iranian presidential elections. Key figures include Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Supreme Leader Aid Vahid Haqqani. The Guardian Council, responsible for approving candidates, historically disqualifies moderates and reformists, ensuring hardliner dominance. This trend continues with the recent registration of hardline politicians between June 1st and 3rd. The Interior Ministry will announce the final list of candidates on June 11th. The elections will likely reinforce the hardline stance within Iran's political landscape, impacting both domestic policies and international relations, particularly in the context of the Middle East conflict. Palestinian militias engaged Israeli forces in at least 6 locations in the West Bank since June 2nd. The clashes involved small arms fire and IED detonations, highlighting the ongoing tension and violence in the region. Palestinian fighters continue to target Israeli towns and military positions from the West Bank. The Israeli Shin Bet announced the arrest of a Hamas fighter in Nablus on June 3rd, who planned a suicide IED attack. This arrest underscores the persistent efforts by Palestinian militias to maintain offensive operations against Israeli targets, despite ongoing Israeli security measures and military responses. Hezbollah significantly increased drone attacks against northern Israel, conducting 11 attacks since June 2nd. The drone attacks target Israeli military positions, posing a persistent threat. Both Israeli and U.S. military forces face challenges intercepting these drones, which are often manufactured by or receive assistance from Iran. The IDF's experience in defending against drone attacks in northern Israel mirrors its efforts in Iraq and Syria, where similar threats persist. The increased drone activity indicates Hezbollah's strategic focus on leveraging technology to enhance its military capabilities against Israel, escalating the ongoing conflict dynamics in the region. On June 3rd, Israel conducted an airstrike targeting Iranian-backed militia infrastructure near Aleppo, Syria, killing IRGC advisor Saeed Abiar. The airstrike aimed at disrupting Iranian-backed operations and transfer of military materiel to Lebanon and Syria. This action is part of Israel's broader campaign to weaken Iranian influence and military presence in Syria, which has been ongoing since December 2023. The strike killed at least 15 Iranian-backed militia members. This escalation reflects the intensifying conflict between Israel and Iran, highlighting the strategic importance of Syria as a battleground for regional power dynamics.